Well, welcome back to another edition of Trail Camera SD Card Pickup. Now this video is basically going to center around one water hole. It's the largest water hole that's collected by rainwater basically. There's no spring or anything running into it. And this was a very slow day as far as most of my cameras on the cards, except for this hole. I had tremendous amount of footage. I think I had almost 45 minutes of footage, and so I've edited quite a bit out because I have trouble uploading more than 15 minutes on YouTube. So here we see them coming in, and you will notice that this water hole, as time goes on here with this video, over the course of a week or two here, that this thing almost completely dries up by the time we get to the end of this video. But there's a lot of playing, and elk, especially the young elk, like to play a lot in the water, and then obviously the big bulls during the rut like to play in the water. But those are the cows. I don't see the cows playing in it near as much as we do the young elk and the bulls in the rut. So here we see him coming in for a drink. It doesn't look very appetizing. It's very dirty, but they've got several miles to go to get other water, which is very clean, but I guess they just stop by and get a drink here. So we'll notice a herd here coming in, not a large herd, but I don't know if they're all coming in or we can see them all, but I expect there's around a dozen. Here we see kind of a raghorn bull coming in, and just kind of standing there. I'm not sure why the camera didn't catch him quicker when he was in the water, but so he's just kind of looking around, seeing what's going on here, I guess. There by himself, and I'm noticing the bulls are starting to hang out together, but I'm also noticing them all mixed up. So there's the indication that yes, bulls do kind of separate themselves, but also I'm noticing here in the spring that they're all kind of mixed up together. A lot of this video is going to be about bulls and bulls interacting with each other, kind of sparring with each other, but I did have a lot of video of cows. Here we have, I think this was a bull that lost his antlers already, and here's one, a fairly good sized one, that hasn't lost his antlers. So it's interesting that he was able to chase the other one away, but may well have been much larger, but since he doesn't have his antlers anymore, he can't fight back. So that's why this bull in here is chasing him away. We'll have some interesting video of bulls that have lost their antlers, and you can see the buttons, or what's left of that, and you'll see that later on here. It comes up really close to the camera. But they're in the process of losing their antlers, and obviously 4 or 5 pointers have not lost their antlers yet. I've noticed I have 2 routes, and on these 2 routes there are a lot of 4 or 5 point bulls. Here's like a 5 pointer probably, a large 4 or 5. He should have a very large set of antlers next year, and there's a lot of those. So there's going to be a tremendous amount of 6 point bulls next year. So I'm looking forward to that. Here's a younger one, a small 3-4 pointer coming in with a cow. Either that or this is a bull that has lost his antlers. Kind of hard to tell from this distance. You can already see here that the water is lower, but there's still some water left to drink. Some of the video that I have, especially the close-up ones, I have left it on for an extended period. Here's another nice sized bull coming in. I've left it on, and I'll try not to talk too much during that time, because it's very interesting, the sounds that the elk make while they're sparring, and it's interesting to just hear their antlers clashing. And one of the things that I noticed in this water hole is all the sparring and the posturing and trying to gain dominance. They all know who is dominant over who. And of course, among the bulls, the antler size has a lot to do with who is the more dominant one, and also the bigger, stronger ones. So here we have a couple of them sparring here. They're just young ones. But I have a lot of video here, clips of bulls sparring with each other. Hopefully you can hear some of the clashing there. Now here's a bull that has just lost his antlers, and he's very uncomfortable. You'll notice him swinging his head around. There's something itchy or something about it. He's probably had a massive rack, and now it's gone, and he's just not quite sure what to do. You know, their demeanor and everything looks different when they lose their antlers. It's almost like he's depressed. And he's going to walk right here in front of the camera. You can get a good look at the stubs that he has left. And then immediately they're going to start growing new ones right around there. Of course, he has to come up and sniff on my camera. One of the things that I have noticed, and it's a bit surprising to me maybe, is the amount of irregularly shaped antlers. You know, the ones you see on the wildlife photos are so perfect, but my experience is that at least 50% of the antlers usually are just not that well defined and well shaped. There's 3 on one side, 4 on the other, or they're broke, or they're deformed. Here comes a bigger one in again to spar. Another thing that I've noticed, and I've read about it too, is that some of them, their antlers are still in velvet. I had a picture of that on one of my SD cards, but the SD card failed. I'm not sure what happened, so I really don't have video on it, but the antler was about, the right one was about a foot, foot and a half long and covered in velvet, and the other one was angled out to the right or to the left of him another 6 inches and still had velvet on. And I read that that's because of low testosterone, and testosterone is what will kick the antlers off in the spring. But I'm not sure what's going to happen to that bull. He may not even lose his antlers, and so it certainly wasn't new growth. It's just a dead antler, so it's just kind of staying there. And that's on my other route, and I'm going to keep an eye on it, see if I see that again, whether that bull is just going to keep those without dropping them. I've certainly learned a lot about antlers in my documenting this for a year now. Here you're going to hear the noise of the antlers. This segment is just going to be a group of elk that showed up at this water hole, and that's what I'm going to close up with. This one was getting a little excited at times here, running around, and she was just covering up that bull, just kind of a spike raghorn. And so you're just going to notice them interacting there, and the water hole is, well, it's mostly a puddle right now. But I had a lot of elk coming in here to this water hole in those last 2 weeks. One of the disappointing things, I believe it was on this trip, I had a new camera set up and had taken one set of videos off of it. But the last time that I went, and actually when I left this water hole, someone had stolen my card. So I did not get any video from that one. And so I actually pulled that camera and have now set that up on my other route. So that's how it goes. I've gotten 3 or 4 stolen now, but no camera stolen so far, so at least that's good. But anyhow, this has been fun for me, and I hope that you are all enjoying these. Tried to edit them as best I can because I have a lot of footage, but try to keep it under 15 minutes. So anyhow, thanks for watching, and I will see you the next time on my SD card camera pickup. Bye.